Volume 10, Route 2, Life in the Dream House. Dream House? Aren't they under the sea or whatever? As you've had occasion to remark before, Alternia is a dark world. Both because it's night all day long, and because of its hideously brutal society, where the strong prey on the weak prey on the weaker, and all this prey ends only when the survivors are shipped out to prey at everyone else in the galaxy. Alternia's cruelty has been in your mind for a long time. But recently, it's begun to feel intolerable. You decide to take a walk in the woods to calm yourself, but it seems that with every step, your mood only grows darker, your agitation greater. As you walk, you remember the names of Alternian friends who have fallen to the planet's injustices, and your mood goes from bad to worse. You've been waiting around like a spoiled, self-centered narrative device for a lightning bolt of illumination to reveal your reason for living. To explain your peculiar and insatiable hunger for friendship, and to show you the destiny attached to it. You think you know who caused this, but why? You've been sitting here like a child waiting for a teacher to explain the answer to a difficult math question. Friska and Terezi are arming up to change the world. And what are you doing? Your usual bullshit. You're thinking. You're navel-gazing. And then, with a sudden blinding clarity, you understand. Friska is right. Terezi is right. The answer is revolution. Who gives a shit? Who cares that some big dumb universe thinks your destiny should be? You'll take Dream Boulder's advice and choose your own fate. Take the answer to the meaning of your life into your own hands. Set your own course. The gods, the fates, the universe, or wherever will have to jump back pretty sharply because your direction is clear to you at last. Your agitation turns to indignation. Your indignation to outrage. Outrage to anger. Anger to fury. Fury to ferocity. Ferocity to white-hot resolve. The horrors of this planet have got to stop, and you are feeling particularly dramatic today. That was due in part to the shift in narrative tone and general prose quality in this episode. So now's the time. You know you do this every volume, right? The first one is always like friends. Second one is always, damn this awful society, I gotta change it. Alternia's cruelty and violence have upset and shocked you since you arrived. But as more and more of the population suffering under these wrongs have become your personal friends, it has become unbearable. You've been wondering all along, who will make it stop? Now you know the answer. The answer is you, of course. If you are the main character, then you have to be the one to get the ball rolling. And you've begun to suspect that you can't die, for reasons seemingly tied to your function as a narrative device. So that's a bit of characterization you could bring to bear. No longer will you linger in the wings, waiting for the narrative to summon you to heroics. With this momentous decision girding you for unstinting effort, you set your mind to the question of how to accomplish it. You start by making an inventory of the strengths and weaknesses you possess and can bring to bear on the task. Strengths: 1. Experience drumming up friendship in the most unlikely situations. 2. Ability to travel instantaneous anywhere you want to go. Weaknesses: everything else. This helpful mental exercise clarifies matters significantly. You see clearly that the only way for a single humble being such as yourself to change Alternia is to go directly to the point of maximum leverage. In other words, straight to the top. You'll need both of your resources in this quest. You'll need to travel superhumanly and superluminally into the immediate company of Alternia's ruler and throw your full friendship game on them, with the objective of persuading them to initiate reforms, change rules, and set the planet on our course to civilization. But your darting intellect realizes something else. It won't be easy. The ruler of a world such as Alternia must be a fearsome, fell creature, a monster of no ordinary loathsomeness and cruelty. On Alternia, you've seen gigantic, ravening Lucy, genocidal clowns, murderous highbloods, and every kind of grisly crime, to a point making belief in Santa Claus almost impossible. It stands to reason that the leader of such a world must also be the cruelest, gruesomest, most terrifying being of them all, a being of nearly impossible evil. For the first time since this plan caught fire in your mind, a whisper of doubt creeps in. It occurs to you that the most likely outcome of your quest for the reformation of Alternia is a scenario where your internal organs are festooned over a wide area, your eyes popped out of your skull, and your brain splatter to a fine mist. While experience suggests that you're non-killable, that sort of thing may offend, not to mention be excruciatingly painful. Maybe it would be a better idea to have a light lunch and lie down until your forming mood passes, or press on fearlessly with your quest. Well, I'm gonna lie down for a bit first. Oh, come on. If you, an indispensable narrative device with nearly superhuman befriending powers and actually superhuman traveling powers, won't try to reform Alternia, who will? Have you no pride, no grit, no old college spirit? Go back and select the right answer. Wow, forced to do the right thing. Can you believe this? Well then, let's press on fearlessly with your quest. Scorning all difficulties, you decide to press on fearlessly with your quest. You gather yourself, consign your soul to heaven or whatever, and prepare for the worst. You close your eyes and think, take me to the highest being on Alternia. Then you grit your teeth and prepare for the ultimate horror. You feel the familiar sensation of superhuman/superluminal travel, and the world changes around you, rendering you somewhere else. Somewhere that feels quite different from your previous forest location. Very different actually. A lot wetter. It quickly becomes apparent that there is good news and bad news. The good news is that instead of an eldritch monster, you've materialized next to a rather pleasant-looking troll girl with fins on her head and wearing goggles and a tiara. The bad news is that you're drowning, as you seem to have materialized in the middle of an ocean. Glub? Kelp? 380? What? What are you saying? Oh, that's not 380, that's your face. Your own greeting may seem a bit less cheery in that it consists of thrashing wildly with your eyes bugging out as you fight not to inhale, while trying to concentrate on zapping yourself the heck out of there. The troll girl watches in astonishment, but suddenly seems to understand. You see her take a big breath of water through some gills on her neck, and then something starts to come out of her mouth. A bubble. The bubble expands and expands until you feel its boundary break over you. And suddenly you can breathe. You collapse, coughing and gasping onto its floor, which feels like the inside of a huge submerged balloon, yielding but effectively keeping the water at bay. The troll girl sits across from you in the bottom of the bubble, studying you curiously and anxiously. Glub glub glub? Are you okay? Recovering from your brush with drowning, you're able to notice with relief that despite her conversational quirks, she looks friendly, even glad to see you. You try to say something, but all that comes out of your mouth is water and a sputtering sound. I don't speak whatever language that is. It's very pretty though. You burp and some water trickles out of your ears. Okay. Sorry, I still don't understand. Do you speak any Alternia? With a great effort you gasp, yes. Oh god, why is there giggling in the background music? I don't like that. Oh, yay! My name is Feferi Peixes. Glub glub. What's your name? You bubble weakly. It's nice to meet you, blub. Maybe a little bit too much of the glubs and the blubs. You nod politely, expel another half gallon of water, then weakly say that it's very nice to meet her too. Not least because if she hadn't been there, things might have gotten unpleasant for you. You're welcome, but what are you doing here? Almost nobody comes this way. It's not really on the way to Anemoneware? She looks sad when she says it, and you wonder that some poor troll child should be living all by herself way out in these submerged parts, so far from anyone. How did you manage to appear from nowhere like that? You almost gave me a heart attack, Glub Glub. You tell her you were trying to use some superhuman powers. You have to go visit the highest being on Alternia. The troll girl seems to perk up at this. You wanted to come visit me? You shake your head vigorously to try to get the water out of your ears. The troll girl looks disappointed. Glub, you didn't come to see me? You apologize and say that you're quite happy to be visiting her, but that you misheard her last remark. You thought she had implied that she was the highest being on Alternia. Just goes to show you how deep submerges and waterlogging can clog your hearing. Oh no, Glub, you heard me right. I am the highest being on Alternia. Most of the time I'm the future empress, heiress to the throne of the Alternian Empire, which is a great big glubbing pile of whale poop as far as I'm concerned. What? You look around for the multiple razor-toothed, fire-breathing, acid-splitting heads, tearing claws, and bad attitude that you're sure Alternia's highest being must have. Yeah, well, is she the highest being if she's not the current one? I feel like your zapping powers were a little off course. But then you start to remember your Alternian social science. You haven't had any formal Alternian education. You're not even sure narrative devices, however indispensable, are eligible to sign up for classes, but you pick this stuff up when you hang around a place long enough. So you know that the Empress spends most of her time off-planet leading merciless troll hordes and conquest of the galaxy. You also know that there's only ever one other member of her royal fuchsia bloodline, the heiress, in existence at any time, as long as the condense doesn't kill her on her rare visits to the home planet, that is. The troll girl glubs sadly, and you realize that being the only fuchsia blood on the planet must be lonely. Not only will you have enough strength to accidentally tear any troll who visited you limb from limb without noticing, but you've heard some sinister things about the heiress's lucis. Something about it being the size of a continent, hungry as the void of space, and evil as the hell devils go to if they're bad devils. Something that might discourage casual visits by friends who don't want to double as snacks. But at the same time, you wonder that such a seemingly agreeable and sensitive troll as this girl could preside over such a grindingly horrible planet as Alternia. How can she live with herself? Does she even know what goes on outside her insular little ocean? But you put all that aside for now. Here you are, right where you wanted to be when you made your master plan for Alternian reform. You haven't been devoured, dismembered, or decapitated. The person you want to persuade seems eminently persuadable, not to mention friendable, so you're ahead of the game so far. Time to take full advantage. Your Royal Highness, you begin. Glub, call me Fef Blub. It's much friendlier to be on a fish name basis, and I'm so happy and excited to have another friend. Perfect! Phase 1 of your plan seems to have practically accomplished itself. But there's no time to waste, as the air in the bubble your new friend created is starting to get stuffy, and you know you're going to have to zap out of there soon. You mentioned in a casual conversational tone that you've been visiting Alternia for some time now. Glub, do you like it? It's certainly unusual. Heh, that's putting it lightly. I'm sure everyone has been incredibly mean to you. Well, yes, to start off with at least. The sea dwellers think they're so much better than everyone else, but they're just a bunch of shellfish, arrogant bassholes. The high bloods prey on the low bloods, and no one cares how other people feel, or even if they live or die. Drones fly around krilling anybody weak or useless. Oh, well, she seems to know. Maybe she's got plans of her own. Phase 2 of your plan is half in the bag already. You feel dizzy suddenly at how your quest is working out without the least effort on your part, and also from lack of oxygen. You're gasping for air, for breath, and the darkness is gathering at the edges of your vision. In about a minute, you're going to pass out from oxygen deprivation. How were you even talking this whole time if there's no oxygen? It doesn't make any sense. What's to be done? What's to be done indeed. I could either zap back or stick around and test out the you won't die thing. Yeah, let's try that. You're fading fast. A black tunnel is closing around you, and sounds are getting dim. You wiggle your fingers and try to gasp out an entreaty. Glub, are you okay, Blub? For reply, you clutch your throat, fall heavily to the floor, and lose consciousness. We're not that disappointed. You gradually regain consciousness, and as you do, you realize that air is going through your lungs. Fresh, oxygenated air. The most beautiful thing you've ever felt. You realize also that you're in a palatal, though messy bedroom, and while you can see underwater realms outside the windows, the room itself is de-watered. The fresh air seems to be coming from a large conch shell sitting on the floor nearby and humming quietly like an air purifier. You're swooned on a chaise lounge, and Feferi Peixes is fanning you with a large palm frond. Glub, are you alright, Blub? Why didn't you tell me you couldn't breathe? You scared the pissin out of me. You struggle upright and try to smile bravely. You apologize for scaring her, but observe that one of the symptoms of not being able to breathe is not being able to talk. You thank her effusively for saving you. Glub, that's an empress's duty. Instead of encouraging people to be mean and hurt each other, she would do whatever she can do to help them. A tear comes to your eye and a lump to your throat when she says that. If she really means it, you have a couple of suggestions. Of course I mean it. I'm glad at how abyssal things have been around here. When I'm Empress, things are gonna be different. You respectfully wonder how long it will be before she becomes Empress. Only a couple of thousand more sweeps. Oh, cool. What happens to everyone on Alternia in the meantime? Feferi looks momentarily thoughtful. I don't know. I haven't thought that part out. Yeah, you know what that means. We gotta go kill the current Empress. I guess I'm not equal to my big ideas. Need to use item. Moderate. Other moderate. Slap it, Ian, slap that bass. Or base, not the fish.